was the first cousin. Anyway, Jeremy asked me to talk about our family, of whom he knows very little. And you know what, Jer? Neither do I. So I'll start with my earliest memory of my cousin Bill. He was in the local hospital recuperating from rheumatic fever. Back then, no kids were allowed to visit, so my parents would take me to stand outside his hospital window so I could wave hello. Because of that illness, Bill could not go outside to play very much. And I can say that was beschert, which is a Yiddish word for meant to be, and made him the musician and talent we all know. You see, his bar mitzvah present was a piano, and as he could not go outside to play, he sat and played that piano for hours on end. And I remember him playing Rhapsody in Blue when he was in his teens. I have very few memories of Bill as a kid. Our age difference then made a big difference. But at his bar mitzvah, it was a big party, of course, and though I'm sure there was a live band, all I remember is Bill playing on his accordion and singing Mac the Knife. He loved the spotlight and entertaining all of the guests. And of course his mom, my Aunt Shirley and Jeremy's grandmother, kveld, another Yiddish word which means your heart is bursting with love and pride, which went on our whole lives for him. We all did a lot of kvelling over the years when it came to Bill and his gifts. The next time I saw him perform, he was Prince Chulalonghorn in a local temple production of The King and I longed to be in the children's chorus, but instead settled for seeing every performance. And of course, we all went to see him at Plainedge High School, Nikki, wherever you are, when he starred in the musical Plain and Fancy. So my earliest memories of Bill are almost entirely of me watching him perform. It was only when I was in high school and he was at Fredonia that we really started to form a close relationship, which grew and deepened over the last 50 plus years. He became my brother from other parents, and my mom became, after his parents died, his surrogate mom, a mutual love and admiration pairing. So, Jeremy asked me to write something about our family. Well, Bill was an only child, named for his mother's brother who died sadly just after World War II ended. I'm an only child too, but Bill's parents and my parents were inseparable, as if they were siblings. And even when I was sharing a meal or word with his parents and mine, Bill was often the main topic of conversation. What he was doing, when are we going to drive up to Fredonia to see him perform? That was our very small, very close family. I do remember Bill's grandmother, I think it was his dad's mom, at her sewing machine, which now has pride of place in our den. Oh, and Bill's mom often reminded us that there was a showbiz connection in their family. Georgie Jessel, a famous comic of the early 1900s, was a cousin. There were dozens more performances when Bill was at SUNY Fredonia, where he met Elaine and Clint, whom we also met. They too were joining the family. So, family. Bill's mom and my dad were first or second cousins on my dad's mother's side. I have very little info on that family branch. There were only 2 other cousins on that line who lived near us on Long Island, but I have no memory of Bill being with them. One of those cousins, Lorraine, was from my parents' generation. The other cousin from my generation I did contact, but sadly, she has no memories of Bill. So aside from my parents and me, there are no blood relations for me to regale Jeremy about. But Bill's love of music and people gave him an extended family. Friends who are as close or closer than any blood relation. All who knew Bill or saw him perform or heard his arrangements and compositions and shows loved him and embraced him to form the larger family he was surrounded by. This is the greatest gift he received and also gave to the world. We were fortunate to count him as family and family. I'd like to close with this. It's from my yoga teacher, who says at the end of every session in memory of her beloved partner, but I always add, for Billy and my mom. There are some who bring a light so great into this world that even when they are gone, the light remains. Thank you. Thank you.